They took it, but didn't take us in. I didn't even have no re-up I could re-up with. Had to rob another just to re-up. Pray to God it in his heart he found forgiveness for me. It was nothing personal, it was just business for me. When I got on, I paid him back and told him it was ugly. I'd rather ask forgiveness like 100 times than be asking for permission in a beggar's line.
For Week 14 in the NFL, the AFC and NFC will clash at US Bank Stadium. It's the Steelers on the road against the Vikings. And it's coming up next.
Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside US Bank Stadium. The scene a short time ago. This crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Well, the Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. Their quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and 4th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 20 carries, 102 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know, he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Play action now. Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Cousins gives way to Cook. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying if he can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A look at the numbers for Harrison last week's game. And they just could not stop him defensively. Hit the 200-yard mark, went over that, but he didn't score one time.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? Because normally when you have that kind of performance, you hit on a couple of big, long runs, a 60-yarder, a 70-yarder. But for him, it was more like a 10 here, a 20 there. He spent the entire game just wearing down their defense.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself the best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Toward the pylon, caught. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Najee Harris with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of the team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes the score 7-0.
Vikings, nothing. Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A first down throw for Cousins. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 41. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now. Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. They're trying for Washington, but the pass intercepted. Picked by Jeff Gladney. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
He's going to float this one deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Now Cousins. And that will be incomplete. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Ray McLeod deep for Pittsburgh. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again, but I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Well, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
Meanwhile, Ben's throw there hauled in by Claypool. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now a throw here to his running back. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. 2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
A gain of 16.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Quick slant finding Claypool. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Play action. Now Roethlisberger. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll make it second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. Flushed out right. That is caught at the 7. And the Steelers are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down about the 2.
And Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defense.
That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers have taken a 13-0 first-quarter lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0.
Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
At the 25-yard line.
Cousins now. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That'll give him 8 that time. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
But ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week.
There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chase Claypool, 85 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
And that should serve as a big warning to this defense. They know now that they have to stick close to these receivers because they have the ability to break games wide open after the catch. And that one wound up in the end zone.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now 21-0.
Steelers 21.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Cook running right. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Defense, they'll spread the field, a dime package here on 3rd and 12.
Mike 41, Mike 41. Gotcha.
Throwing is Cousins. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Extra point now by Boswell. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there is almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7. That's the end of
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run. And
look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr. his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Ray McLeod to return. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs. So a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. He gets it complete to Harris. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number one job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
Get ready.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 31. Now Roethlisberger to throw. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll go down at the 28. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They start the drive with Cook, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line.
Handoff comes to Cook. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. And a trio of touchdown passes so far. They've got the lead as well. All is good in their football world at this point.
And it's so much fun for our colleagues, right? Think about our producer, our director, everyone putting together these shots. Wouldn't you love to be in the truck right now and hear him calling for it? Give me that one, give me that one, give me that one. And we just saw 3 beautiful touchdown passes.
Now he's looking for 4. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
On 4th down, here comes a Steeler punter, Jordan Berry, to kick it away. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. This is taken at the 15. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Cousins. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he will have a Vikings 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 3 yards to go on second down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. A give. This is Cook. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Could be some contact going on.
On 3rd down, Cook. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down. Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Touchdown! Adam Thielen. Touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. McLeod now on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
54 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Oh, that's a very good run there by Najee Harris, who can take it inside. He can get to the perimeter. He can do it all with his build and his speed. This is a guy coming out of Alabama who did everything for the Crimson Tide. That's why Pittsburgh took him in the 1st round. Last in the league in rushing as a team last year were the Steelers. They're expecting Harris to kickstart their running game.
A big play that time for Pittsburgh. Well, for a tight end, he can definitely motor, and he shows off the wheels there after the catch as he's able to shake free.
Yeah, and we've seen a few moments like this in the 1st half already from this defense. You know you're going to give up some catches, but it's what they do after the catch that's really been hurting them. And it does again right there.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Adam Thielen. He gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Stephon Tuitt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins under pressure, and they got to him again. Stephon Tuitt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Steelers. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here's McLeod on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. He's going to launch it for Washington. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Following the interception, Cousins Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Throwing on second and long. Cousins. Here's Johnson with a reception. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Cousins now to throw on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Throwing again on second down. Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And it's caught. And he is out of bounds here.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him first and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a second time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
On second and goal, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better, had time to survey the field, and still couldn't find an open receiver.
Seibert's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you two in just a moment. First, we just want to give everybody a look ahead to what's in store for us this weekend as we enter the final month of this NFL season. Good matchups all up and down the schedule there. We'll highlight the one in Cincinnati. A big test coming up for the Bengals as they'll have to contend with the San Francisco 49ers. Then later, they'll let the sun die down a bit in Tampa. A late start here in Florida, where it'll be the Buccaneers taking on the Buffalo Bills. And finally, on Monday Night Football, we put a bow on Week 14 with a good one in the NFC West. The Rams and Cardinals from Glendale at 8:15 Eastern Time. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for the Steelers in that first half. And our statistician may need a vacation after this one's said and done. What a first half they had throwing the football. Over 300 yards passing already. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit. With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first 2 quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. Then the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit, or maybe lost their focus as well. and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
McLeod now on the return. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the 7-yard line.
Again, it's Cook. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Big Ben of the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he goes out of bounds and looks like right at the 50. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
They hand this off to Harris. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 64 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Roethlisberger's throw there, hauled in by Claypool. And he's taken down inside the 30.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. Here's Harris. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. He finds his man, complete. That's Harris. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Chase Claypool, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That's a nice play.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Stephon Tuitt, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak. And while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close. But the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Kevin Huber now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They run again with Harris, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Off the play fake, here's Roethlisberger. Flush to his right. He'll find Smith-Schuster, that's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, hey, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They go play action with Roethlisberger. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Quick slant finding Claypool. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 19 on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And they open the lead up now to 25.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
41 Mike. I don't think you got it, sir.
That's the end.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Cousins. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete there to Johnson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Throwing is Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Steelers' 9-yard line.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. B.C. Johnson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. McLeod now on the return. And he returns this to the 22.
Let's go.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
108 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run again with Harris. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Anyone who watched Najee Harris at Alabama knows the kind of strength that this guy runs with, and he's continuing on that path here at the next level.
Yeah, in this part of the game, the 4th quarter, this is where a running back really has a chance to shine. This is what they've been training for, to take over the game down the stretch. The defense, it's been battered all game long. And here, this is just a case of a runner imposing his will and deciding he didn't want to be tackled right there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Harris. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Being chased out left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. come up with a 2nd and 5.
At the 30-yard line.
Throwing, Cousins. It's caught, Smith.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And now another one thrown incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give to Harris. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, and he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you?
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Jeff Gladney. And the Vikings are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 50-yard line.
Cousins now from the 50. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
They'll throw again. Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
2nd and 6.
Cousins to throw it. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 12-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Here's Cousins. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. T.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Back to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. Now Cousins on 4th down. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Xavier Woods with a pick. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Intercepted. The Vikings take over.
Following the interception, Cousins letting one go deep for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Cousins. He finds his man Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger going to throw it. That is caught by Smith-Schuster. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And they'll indeed take a knee. Roethlisberger dropping to a knee, and that ought to do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears.